Shout out to the most patient audience in all of YouTube. I appreciate each and every one of you. I tried to get this thing set up on the fly and everything went wrong. Everything went wrong. Had to update all the software, had to finagle a thumbnail. Shout out to Rod God. He said, that thumbnail, though, you have no idea how much I just had to cobble together. I ain't about to explain it all to y'all. Thank y'all for being here. It's already 38 people in here, and I haven't even clicked. I just clicked the go live button 3 seconds ago. So people already in, people already waiting on this, people ready for this. I see a lot of comments. I think we brewing up for a good one. I see new 580 down there says this is about to be a classic. Obsidian will be receiving the link, and we about to talk about this. We about to talk. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
Y'all are in here. Y'all are definitely in here for this one. Give me one quick second. Give me one quick second. I gotta get up and do something real quick. All right. We are in here. Y'all are in here. I see. No, RM. No, we don't. We, in the words of T'Challa, we don't do that here. Don't be dropping penguins. I do not represent the penguins. I am not a penguin. I understand Obsidian. They called Obsidian the penguin, the prom penguin. Obsidian likes to lean into the punch, and so he's made a penguin logo. He wears it proudly. But when he extrapolated it out to other individuals, and he calls people who rocks with him or he considers in his camp, he calls them the penguins. I exit stage left when it comes to being called one of the penguins. I no. I'm cool with Obsidian. Not a penguin. I'm not one of the penguins. I exit stage left when yeah, no, no. Oh shit. Game Changer said link please before I even started the stream. Yeah, Game Changer, I will get you in on this one, but the link is to Obsidian. Obsidian got the link. He told me he was ready, but I know Obsidian. He's waiting for me to say something to prompt him to come in. I don't know what the magic words are, but I just know that I'm going to say something, and then that's going to make him say, "Yeah." So on what you were saying right there, and then that's where he'll steer it. That's what he wants to do. That's what he's doing. I know him well when it comes to this. But there's a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about that we're going to get into. Oh man, is it going down in the chat room already? Deacon Dave said I'm going to need a. Okay. Somebody said I need to line it up. I need to line it up. It happens, every week or two. Yes, you might see the beard looking a little rough. Yeah, it's I'm due for an edging up. I see Obsidian in the back. He didn't have me. He didn't force me to freestyle for too long this time. So we about to get right into it. Sun is hot, right? Oh, cute. Y'all coming through the super. Let me get to these super chats before I bring Obsidian up. Sun is hot, right in the building. He says, if I wasn't sure I was done with you ninjas, I am after today. I'll be getting into that. I know where you're going, and I know why, and I'll be getting into that in my own lane. He says, "Are we finally gonna walk through the fire?" What do you mean finally? I don't understand what you mean by finally. Dapper Gents in the building with the $5 super chat. Thank you for the super chats. I do appreciate that. Okay. All right. I'm bringing Obsidian up, and we got to all right, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna start off with well, first off, welcome to the show, Obsidian. Welcome aboard.
Hey, what's going on, Bernard?
Hey, what's going on? Glad to have you here. I didn't have a topic this morning. I didn't have nothing in particular to talk about.
Oh, come on, man. You know what the topic is all about.
No. I said this morning. This morning when I got up, I didn't really have nothing.
Oh, I mean, everybody has a topic to talk about. It's about the supposed apocalypse of the black manosphere. The end is nigh and all this sort of thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah. I was trying to find some content that didn't have nothing to do with
that.
And
of course, it's all my fault. Of course.
I think you're a piece on if it's a game of chess, you're definitely a piece on the table. You're a piece on the board. You're on the board. I can't say it's all your fault.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm even skeptical of whether or not this is an apocalyptic mode. I'm skeptical of a lot of things. I'll start right here. Well, trust me, people. We're going to get to Obsidian's stream last night. Even if you didn't watch it, just in case if you've unsubscribed to Obsidian and you don't get the notifications, the title of his stream last night was should black women run the black manosphere? Then there was a period, and then why not with a question mark. We're going to get into that because that dovetails into the title of this stream today. What the hell is Obsidian been talking about lately? So we're going to get into that, but at first let's deal with this notion, this concept, people leaving the manosphere. O'Shea, in so many words, announced that he's out. Mediocre Tutorials announced that he was out in terms of the title of a video.
We can be reasonably sure that TLA will keep his distance as well.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. This is weekend. This is something that I've always said. Well, one, as far as O'Shea, in my opinion, O'Shea has technically he's already been out. It's just he was in it just in name. And let me explain that. I'm not taking a shot here. I'm saying once you get to the point to where you're technically when you're technically not doing manosphere content, even though it's manosphere-ish, when he's talking about, when he's analyzing, celebrity gossip situations, he is giving a blackmail spin and sometimes a slight manospherian spin on it. But he's sort of in a new realm, a new league. He's in a new algorithm, making content that's not exactly manosphere content. So once you achieve those two things, I say you're already out. If you figure out how to, rebrand your channel, get into a new algorithm, have success with that algorithm to where now you have an audience that isn't even strictly a manosphere audience, at that point, you're technically out, whether you claim the name or not. So in a way, he was already out. The only difference that happened is he essentially just said, I don't fuck with you niggas no more.
Yeah, we talked about it off list, but I'm not one to divulge confidential communications that happen offline, off YouTube and so forth. But he and I talked about it, and I understand why he did what he did. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. And mediocre choice in reviews, he's somebody else who's already it's certain people who they make it to a different stratosphere where they don't need the name manosphere. If anything, the manosphere needs them more than they need it. And I put TLA in that realm. I put Poor Man's Podcast in that realm. I put MTR in that realm, and I'll put O'Shea in that realm. Once you get that big, by them repping it, but with their stream, with their channels being more far-reaching, cleaner, more more mainstream appeal. I think they're doing a favor by claiming it, because they can easily just never mention it and then not miss a view or not miss a dollar. So they're not benefiting from it, So them saying that they're out, but they're going to continue to do the same content, or anybody saying, hey, I'm out, but you're still in the same algorithm, still doing the same content, you're really not out. Yeah. So that's why I think the concept of people saying they're in or out is sort of irrelevant to me. What do you think about that?
Well, so if it reminds me of a nation state, right? So if you have porous borders and anybody can be in or out at will, then that means anybody can be in or out at will. So we can't really be angry with, say, women coming into the space, because are they really part of the black?
I wouldn't even talking about the women yet. Let's hold on before we get to that, because I'm gonna try to hit it right down the center of the plate, as David Carroll used to say, when it comes to your stream last night. But let's just try to focus on just men in this regard.
Well, okay, so you can look at men. I mean, that's been a big problem with Kevin, right?
Okay.
So when Kevin blew up, see, nobody had a conversation about this when Kevin was at, I think it was 50,000 subscribers. Nobody, this was never a question. This only became a question when Kevin became a thing almost 2 years ago. So, in other words, when he became really successful and blew up on YouTube. So then the question from other black men within the black manosphere itself was saying, he don't claim black manosphere. He took all the black manosphere's talking points, mine most of all. Right? That was the argument. So, okay. So we're saying that anybody that uses our quote unquote, our talking points in the quote is part and parcel of the black manosphere. Okay. Not sure where we go with that, but I mean, personally, I think that I think we have other bigger fish to fry, but I mean, that's where we want to hang our hat on. I mean, hey, I just think we have bigger, more important things to do. I don't sit around. My days aren't spent trying to hash out and parse out which people are in the black manosphere based on their talking points or not. I just have other things to think about and do with myself. So.
Well, how do you determine who's in and who's out then?
The guys, well, in my opinion, the guys who consider themselves part of the black manosphere, more than anything else, is not their talking points. It's what they do. What do they do? do they attempt to move the needle, since we're not talking about women yet? Do they attempt to move the needle in the service of black men in some kind of way with actual deliverables? Do they
Huh.
focus on black men? I mean, to me, it's do they try to cultivate a community of black men that are of like mind? Shout out to Little Big Nate, who are of like mind, and try to at least get on some type of program or purpose to move toward, to be about something. Is that what they're doing?
Okay, so you said the words, and I guess that does segue us into your stream last night, which is sort of the inspiration of this of this show to some degree. Even though it's a few things that I do want to do want to get to. But before I get into that, Cole Black in the building says the black manosphere equals a decent replacement rate. If it takes years to fully grasp the red pill, it makes sense people will sign up each semester. I see where you're going right there, and I actually like where you're going right there. I don't know if everybody understands that. I think some people can get to the point where they, graduate, so to speak. They don't really even need to consume some aspects of this content. They could probably move on to other things, do other things, listen to other things, grow and expand in other ways. If somebody was, red pill raging when they, finally got punched in the face with the truth of how a lot of women operate, and then they get to a point of, they got, red pill peace and understanding, and they get it, and then they move forward in their life, and they, you know, um for lack of a better way to describe it, they end up having success within it, within their understanding, and they yeah, like you can graduate, but then there's new people each day coming in. So always do look at it like that. Always do look at it like that. Shout out to Game Changer, says link please. Hold on, Game Changer, I got you. Just um hang on. So you talk about, do they operate, or in the benefit of men? That's one area that you looked at it. Did a stream last night called well, you say you determine whether somebody's in the manosphere or out the manosphere based off whether or not they operate in the benefit of men. That was one of the reasons that you gave. Then you went on to say essentially that in your stream last night, based off the title, I did watch the majority of it. um should black women run the black manosphere? Why not? That right there, wouldn't that be you not operating in the interest of men? And I'm going to preface this by saying that when it came to the Black Manosphere meetup, you said black men, from an optic standpoint, need to see themselves running it with no outside interference. No money coming from nowhere else. No, none of the speakers coming from nowhere else. Nothing in it. Everything from top to bottom, all black men, from a optic standpoint, from a psychological standpoint. We need to see that. We need to do it. We needed to accomplish that. Fast forward to now, looking at the what you just said last night about the black manosphere. Should women run it? Why not? You're saying why not to that, and that goes directly against what you said when you're saying that something should be in the benefit of black men. Wouldn't that go against the benefit, given everything else that we've already said, that you've said, and that we've established?
No, it wouldn't. And the reason why is because the Black Manosphere meetup is, the 25% of the Black Manosphere real estate. The 25 percenters, men of like
What do you
mind.
mean? What do you mean by 25 percenters?
Are you familiar with a census that I did of the Black Manosphere itself?
Yes, but vaguely. I mean, I honestly don't pay that much attention to all the polls that I see, because a lot of them, whenever a poll has jokes in it, it muddies the results. So I just take it all with a grain of salt and don't even commit to memory what the results were.
Well, I mean, it's largely accepted that at least 75% of the rank and file are street pookie identified.
How did you come to that conclusion?
A number of ways, a number of different metrics. I use metrics from Kevin's shows, Angry Man shows, a number of different shows. I didn't use my own. I used other shows around the Black Manosphere, and used other data to come to that calculation. And It should be said also that we're talking about a continuum here.
Well,
Um,
let me back up. Let me back up and say it like this. When I looked at one of the polls, you said, okay, it was were you including the poll that said which type of black male masculinity do you
no,
prefer? Or,
that wasn't no.
okay, what was the question asked in the poll? Was it
I
one
didn't. I
poll?
said it wasn't a poll. I said a census.
How did you conduct this census if it wasn't a
I just
poll?
explained to you. I looked at metrics such as Kevin shows, Angry Man shows, other shows around the Black Manosphere, and was able to derive a rough percentage of each type of black men. And no, it's not perfect, nowhere near it.
Yeah, it sounded like you just
Um,
eyeballed it.
to some extent, but I did more than that. I'm not going to go into all the details here, but the bottom line is that we have a majority of black men in the Black Manosphere who identify with and I'm using I'm using the academics term here. Elijah Anderson, Code of the Street. He was at University of Pennsylvania. Now he's at Yale. Street. He uses that term. So there are brothers who identify to one degree or another, and I'm not saying it's all uniform with that side of it. And then there's other side of it. I'm using Anderson again, decent side. Um, and there's overlap, and he explains why in his book. It's an excellent read. Code of the Street came out in 1999. He wrote it here in Philly while he was at the University of Pennsylvania. Excellent read. I strongly urge everybody, no matter where you fall on the spectrum, to read it. Greatly informs my understanding of all these things. And I accept that that's where we are. That was the basis of my podcast. I think it was a month ago, or at least earlier this month, about good fences making good neighbors. I think it touches on a number of very sensitive points that I think are long overdue for Black America in general, Black men in particular, to hash out.
Okay, all right.
And with regard to answer your question, with regard
Okay.
to whether what I said in last night's show contradicts my previous statements / actions with regard to the Black Manosphere meetup, no, it doesn't, because the brothers that were involved in the Black Manosphere meetup were of like mind and acted accordingly. Really, what I was talking about last night was aimed at the other 75% of the real estate. Could they say that they had that kind of meetup? I mean, we got guys from that
Okay,
side.
wait, hold on. Your stream. I prefaced something that you said leading up to the meetup. It wasn't about the to meet up or not to meet up. It was that wasn't necessarily the thing.
Right.
The thing that I'm saying is that if you say you talked about whether somebody is in the Black Manosphere or out the Black Manosphere or for the Black Manosphere or not for the Black Manosphere, is based on whether or not they're operating in I forgot the exact word you used at this point, but it was based off whether or not they're essentially operating
in the service of black men.
in the service of black men.
Right.
How is it operating in the service of black men to say that black women in any way, shape, or form should be running a black male space that's for black men?
Because number one, like I said, the side that I was speaking to, I mean, what have they done in the service of black men? What deliverables have they offered? What tangibles have they offered? What results have they delivered? What communities have they built? Talking about, communities of black men, both online and in real time. What have they done? And the reason why I suggested that black women could do a better job is because, let's face it, when it comes to the Pookie side of things, who's doing the better job for them anyway? It's typically black women. That was the whole point of
in the stream. You didn't make. I don't think. At least I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you make distinction between one side that you think isn't doing something.
I made the distinction. I made the distinction a lot in last night's show. And as a matter of fact, when we look at the Tina Knowles Lawson, I call it a Pookie-mentary. There was a number of brothers who were, upset that a black woman made it. But my response was, well, how come the black men who were prominently featured, the very first episode was about the police? Why couldn't the activist brother in a wheelchair who was sitting up there with President Barack Hussein Obama, Why couldn't he get together with some homies from Pittsburgh and do it?
Yeah, black men make documentaries, so I mean I understand where you're going with it, but I think you're taking one person's critique. Oh, a woman shouldn't make that, and
Oh
then
no, it
lumping that
wasn't one
in.
person's critique. There
No,
was a lot
well,
of black
no,
men that had problems.
I know, but you're almost like you're saying if if any black men have a problem with it, then no other black man can praise it, or if any black man praise it, no other black man can criticize it because so I don't necessarily care for that that line of thinking. I think some men can have. I mean, I had a problem with it for a number of reasons, not the existence of it, but just there was some stuff in there that I just kind of side-eyed a little bit. But that's not a big deal that somebody criticized it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. My question still stands. And if you recall in our recent discussion about it, I had a lot of criticisms about it, but my response is I'll make my own documentary.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Okay.
So again, that goes back to the question that you first posed to me here.
I'll make my own video podcast where I talk about it.
Right. And well, I mean, and my thing is that's how we pretty much do things on the 25% side of the fence. We look for solutions, and we coalesce around a idea or point or slate of ideas, and we work together, and we make it happen. The Pookies didn't create the Black Manosphere meetup. The 25% guys did. Or let me put it this way. The 75%ers didn't do that. It was the 25%ers who did.
Oh my goodness. And there you're standing on that 25%, 75% thing. Even though when I asked you how did you even come to that conclusion, you didn't. It's like the way you came to the 75-25 conclusion was pretty shaky at best on how you even came up with that. So I reject the premise until I see some hard evidence of the contrary when it comes to you claiming the 25% of people are in the manosphere.
People are welcome to do better. If they don't like my census, make a better one.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, fair enough. But
all right. As a matter of fact, that's my challenge for any black man in the year 2022. I'm a big reader. Everybody knows this. And one of the people that I've read a lot in my life was Theodore Roosevelt, or one of our U.S. presidents, Republican, truly a Renaissance man. He gave a speech after he left office in France. It goes under a different title, but it has become known as the man in the arena speech. I'm paraphrasing him here. He says, it's not the man that criticizes another man about how he could have done this better or did that better, who sneers at him. It's the man in the arena whose face is bloodied and dirty with sweat who's making it happen. If you don't like what another man is doing, do better. Get in the arena and show us all how it's done. Far too many black men think that all you need to do is roast somebody or toast somebody or beat somebody in a so-called debate when they ain't never been in no actual debates before. I actually have. And they call that doing something. No, produce something. Write books, do courses, actually bring men together in real life and produce results.
Okay, but before you were doing all of that, producing content on YouTube was enough. Then as soon as you leap over another hurdle, then that becomes the standard, and anybody one notch below something that you've done is underperforming. But before you did that other thing, doing what you were doing was sufficient. And that's where it just turns into a goofy thing where anything you do, anybody that haven't done that is an underperforming male. And it's like you do that. It's like
I didn't say anything about underperforming males. I said if you don't like what another man is doing, do better.
All right.
It's very simple. If you don't like what somebody else is doing, you have a low opinion of them, you disagree with them, do better. That's it.
All right. Let's I want to make sure that we don't talk past the idea, the notion. I mean, I understand that you want to take a jab at certain people. Like I said, you say good fences make good neighbors, but you build up your fence and you constantly throwing rocks from your over the fence to hit other people while saying good fences make good neighbors.
Mhm.
But it's funny how you just agree with that real fast. But here's the thing: outside of you trying to spin it on taking a jab at people on the other side of the fence that you're throwing rocks at, do you see the problem in somebody who still carries the title proudly, as you do, one of the founding fathers of the Black manosphere, saying in any way, shape, or form, put it in a title or even fixing your mouth to say it to in any degree, that Black women should be running the Black manosphere? Like at that point, Obsidian is like, it's almost like you're trolling everybody to the point to where some people they're just saying, I don't even take you serious no more.
Well,
It's like,
that shouldn't come as any great shock, because much of the Black manosphere doesn't take itself serious. Hence why Black women can come into the Black manosphere and buy up Black manosphere real estate.
yeah, why didn't you buy it?
I was in Atlanta with you. Why didn't you buy it?
Because I didn't know. For the same reason you didn't buy it. You didn't know.
Exactly. We didn't know because we were too busy taking care of business in Atlanta.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
So what's the excuse for all the guys who weren't in Atlanta taking care of business? What's their excuse?
It don't matter if they were in Atlanta taking care of business or if they live in Pittsburgh or Lansing, Michigan, and they were at work and they didn't check their email that day. So I mean, like, or they're not on Ramil's Patreon list and they didn't know. So I don't even understand.
Were you on his Patreon list? And
yeah, I'm on his Patreon list.
So you're one better than me, because I wasn't on his Patreon list and I had no idea.
Okay, so I think most people fall in that category where they didn't know. Like,
so how about the guys who were on it?
Everybody,
you were on it and you knew. How come you didn't buy it?
No, I didn't know.
But you were on his list.
Right. I don't. Ramil makes his content and he sends it to Patreon. And so I don't pay attention to Ramil's Patreon emails, because most of his content I probably either watched it or didn't watch it, when it came on live, and I don't care to, and I don't care to watch it on his Patreon, and I don't care to watch it on his Patreon, because I either catch it live or I don't. Okay. And that's that. So when Ramil takes his content and moves it to his Patreon, I pay no attention to it. I still get Patreon email. I still Obsidian, because she apparently watches Ramil's Patreon.
Oh.
I don't watch Ramil's Patreon.
So the brothers don't watch.
So wait a minute. Obsidian. This is real simple. This ain't even something to need to get argued about. I didn't know about. No, okay, all right, good. So stop interrupting, please. I'm on Ramil's Patreon. I don't pay attention to what he posts on Patreon. I'm on Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews Patreon, and I don't pay attention to what he posts on Patreon, because I watch the public content. I still give people Patreon support just to support them, because hey, if I like what you do, I'll throw 5, 10, 20 or whatever the hell on it. That's just what I do. Just become a monthly Patreon. I really don't pay attention to people Patreon notifications. Now, this is one thing I do know about that, and this is why I'm not going to gaslight brothers on it. Every single brother that I asked about it who might be in the market for a channel, they are me, you, Game Changer, Ed, even Ty City, who at that time was talking to Ramil on the phone regularly, did not know. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. He just put it out there on his Patreon. Assume some people saw it, some people didn't. The people that's on his Patreon watch his live content. They probably don't pay attention to his Patreon notifications either. Now, shout out to Sister George for paying attention and catching it. But I just think it was just a matter of, didn't nobody know that, coupled with the fact that Ramil said he was already on some forget y'all. Ramil said he sold it to her to basically troll, because he was so done with the manosphere.
Why was he so done?
So no. Let's not pivot. Let's not pivot, because you take shots at brothers about the selling of that channel. But the fact of the matter is, anybody who's anybody, even the people who's close to him and talked to him on the phone, did not know. So and he said he sold it to her to troll. That means he wasn't even really trying to sell it to anybody. Like, so that I'm not going to beat up on brothers for missing that. Yes, it was a missed opportunity, but I tend to believe everybody is either in some variation of the situation, like me and you, like it was put out there through an email and didn't nobody know. And that's just that. People didn't know. If we knew, we would have bought it. We didn't know. She caught it. She bought it. End of. I'm not going to throw a Black Girl Magic parade for Sister George because she caught an email and paid $400 for a channel. We're not about to do that. That just gets ridiculous to me.
Okay.
But shout out to her. She's doing well with it. She's doing well with it.
Okay. So what opportunities are these brothers hopping on? I'm just curious.
What are you talking about?
What opportunities are these brothers taking advantage of that we can all see?
Oh, I mean, most of it you wouldn't see. Like if I take $1,000 out of my account and I invested in something on the stock market, you're not seeing me take advantage of that opportunity. But I do know there's a lot of brothers in this space that invest in a lot of stuff and do a lot of things. I mean, I mean, like that's what I don't understand. It's like you're trying to just bend over backwards to take a crap on men while throwing Black Girl Magic parades. I don't understand why you're doing that.
I'm not throwing a Black Girl Magic parade at all. I'm just going by what's actually happened and occurred in the public square. That's it.
Yeah, the Mac the Trucker said he's a Patreon. He didn't know. Shaka Nulu's a Patreon. He didn't know. Most people don't watch Patreon content that much. So I mean, honestly, and shout out to I don't even want to say who dropped his line. Ramil was in the middle of beefing with her at the moment that she bought it. So I think that's why she had a heightened sense of paying attention to whatever he did. So I honestly think that's how she caught it.
Okay.
She was paying attention to everything he did because he was in the middle of roasting up her in the manosphere for her. I'm not even going to explain what he was roasting her up about. He was in the middle of roasting her up. So if somebody in the middle of doing streams roasting you and then you see something pop up on the Patreon email from this person, you want to check and see, okay, is he talking about me on Patreon too? So I think, I mean, my personal opinion, I think that's how she caught it. But anyway, a lot of people sent super chats. And again, I think we're skating past just the utter problem of a founding member of the Black Manosphere meetup doing the stream saying Black women should run the Black Manosphere. I don't like, that's not an acceptable, utterable statement that I don't understand why you would even, again, it just comes off like either I don't know if it's trolling. Like I'm seriously trying to get down to the bottom of like what's happening here. Like I heard somebody saying it was pandering, but I don't even think that's even at pander status. That's just trolling this space to the point to where
actually it's about performance.
It's about performance.
Yes.
What do you mean by performance? You saying Black women
not performance
are performing?
Performance in terms of metrics, numbers, actually getting things done. A lot of Black women that work in the media space are really good at it. And a lot of Black men in the Black manosphere are really not all that good at it for whatever reason.
Okay, mostly everybody in the Black manosphere are men. And so the Black manosphere exists because of content that men produced and they became great at. And also, you said it yourself that that podcasting and talk radio and the whole works is predominantly is a male dominated field that men typically do well at, women typically don't do well at.
Talk radio.
So, this is in many ways modern talk radio. I mean, I understand this is different. I understand you're a purist when it comes to radio. If you could, you would have just did this strictly radio. So I understand that you don't look at it the way that I look at it, but in many ways, this is essentially talk radio just in video format on the internet. But then
it's no longer radio by definition.
Fair enough, but what I'm saying, this is just the modern manifestation of it. I don't think I know a single person who gets in their car and turns on FM radio. Like that's what I'm saying. So yeah, streaming, podcasting, rather is just audio or video. It's a form. It bare minimum scratches the itch of the old school radio. That's all I'm essentially saying. But I don't. Again, it goes back to what I said about throwing the Black Girl Magic Parade. You're saying that they're so much better at it.
Black Girl Magic Parade.
Because
Black Girl Magic is based on things that are not earned. The whole premise behind Black Girl Magic is black girls can do this, were it not for that. They can do this if they got this, if they got that, if they got the other. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actual performance.
Okay, so you're saying performance. If let's just take let's just go ahead and go and walk through there. Let's take Tough Talk TV.
Right.
Had a few moments where caught a little damn near viral fire. It was hopped on a few controversial issues or trending issues, but overall it's still on a basic day where it's not some big trending story or controversy. It still can get anywhere from 250 to 300 or so people in there on a okay day, on a good day, which means that's a good channel, which means that is genuinely a good and successful channel. There's countless, not countless, but a lot of male channels that can do that too. And so when you're saying, oh, it's based off performance, it's like you're looking at that performance, and again, you're throwing a parade for it, and you're celebrating it. Oh, look at what these women are doing. They're doing exactly what men have been doing, camming up on an avatar. I mean, uncammed up on an avatar, talking shit into a microphone. But you're praising it and celebrating and saying, oh, they should run it. It's like, again, you see how it just comes off as just you're messing with us at this point. I mean, well, I think you've been messing with us, but it just
I'm not messing with you at all. I'm messing with the Pookies though. Cut to the chase says, so are you saying that female content creators are better and more savvy at getting their message to a broader audience? Kind of, sort of. Not exactly all the way, because there are black male content creators who are really good at doing that too. Then again, there's big debate as to whether or not those guys are part of the Black Manosphere Party faithful. Some say yes, others say no. They themselves don't claim it. And when they do try to speak on it, other guys who are claiming, well, at least this month they're claiming to be part of the Black Manosphere. Last month they don't. But in any event, there's some debate on that. But to go to your point, cut to the chase, kind of, sort of. And Game Changer, I didn't know that you were, I know that you were a computer guy. I had no idea that you were a clinical psychologist. You're a man of many talents, apparently. The man of many faces, or no face at all, I guess.
all right. All right. So I'll get to the final part of what I'm trying to get at here. Okay, far as the manosphere, let's keep it real. Okay. Are you trying to change it? Leave it your damn self, or destroy it? Like,
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
Well, no, you're not going anywhere because you're going to continue to make content. So you will continue to make content.
Oh, no, I'm not going anywhere from the Black Manosphere. I'm going to stay right here.
Okay, so you're not trying to leave it. Okay,
nope.
So change that sort of eliminates leave it and to some degree destroy it. I mean, you could stay right there.
To destroy it. Those guys did a pretty good job of doing that themselves.
Okay,
I'm about building. I mean, if that weren't the case,
right.
I've just put out my second book.
All right, so that leaves change it. Okay, so you're trying.
I'm not trying to change it.
Oh, come on.
No, I already said what I want to do. Good fences make good neighbors. I'm over here doing my thing.
Okay, over there on your thing.
Whatever they want to do.
Okay, over there on your scene. What are you trying to do on your side? On
what I'm doing right now?
Your side of that fence. What are you trying to do?
What I'm doing right now, what I have been doing, actually in the real world, in real time since December of 2021, working with other black men of like mind to move the needle. Move the needle in terms of making money, move the needle in terms of looking halfway decent, move the needle in terms of relationships, not just intimate, but working with other black men too. This is the culmination of years of planning. And it was very fortuitous timing. And I don't often speak about this, but divine providence. I think Theo and Lil Big Nate, yourself and others coming and coalescing at the time that you guys did in the fall of last year, I think that was divine providence. And I believe that when you're really working hard toward a goal, again, I don't talk about this publicly much, but I do believe personally that when you're working toward a goal, and it may not seem like much is happening, but if you're really keeping at it and you're on the right track, circumstances and people and situations will come along to aid you in the path. And that's what happened last fall. So that's where I'm at with it. I respect our brothers from the other side of the fence, so to speak. And my position is that this is a big enough tent for everybody, but we all don't share the same values. We just don't.
Well,
And that's
so, okay,
okay.
when you hold on, wait, when you talk about the fences and the big enough tent for everybody, and this sort of goes back to something that you and ARC had a blow up about a long time ago. I think that's probably the first time I ever heard Alan Roger Curry speak, when y'all were going off about something, and basically he had to tell you that, you know, that's your mantra, that's what you do, that's what your channel is about. And he was saying that you want to try to get as many people as possible to do what you do, or say what you say, or be about what you're about. And I do believe, even though you're saying good fences make good neighbors, I do think a lot of what ARC said right there still technically exist, because there are some things that you are, for lack of to put it mildly, there are some things that you're kind of going in a different direction on. And I said before, it's like you come here and you float out a lot of your new arguments and new ideas, and you are on a mission to try to convince as many people as you can to pull as many people over in the direction that you're going. So
No,
I
I'm
don't
not.
know if okay.
I said people of like mind.
Okay, so you're just
By
putting out a
definition, if you're
beacon. You're
going for
putting out
people of like mind,
you're putting out a beacon, like a lighthouse, to anybody of like
yeah.
mind to see
So
the light
the
blinking
people of like
to
mind, they
come.
want to
All
do
right.
that, and that's the thing that cracks
All
me
right,
up
and
about all this.
wait, hold on. I want to get into I want to get into what you want to do, because you said something about you know, money and making money. Okay, and it is a question. To what's the length you would go when it comes to money? Now, for me, as far as money, doing the content that I've been doing from the time I started, my first video is still up. I'm not saying anything, you know, everything I'm saying from back then is still more or less in line with what I'm saying right now. I probably tweaked a few things, you know. If I was a little wrong on this, I probably tweaked this, or some data came in that shows that, okay, I wasn't quite right on that. I've tweaked a few things along the way, but still on the same exact path. And that's done well for me. My channel is growing, you know, more than ever right now, and I've made a decent amount of money. I make a decent amount of money doing this. But when it comes to you and wanting to make money, and some of the things that you're changing or evolving on, to what degree are you willing to go with that evolving for the money for the supposed money that's at the end of that rainbow? How far are you trying to go with it? How far are you willing to go with it? We talked about that title last night, Black Women Running the Manosphere. It's like, are you full blown willing to just just full blown pander and appease for dollars? Like what's the deal with that?
No, I just put out a nearly 400-page book where I make the case that I'm doing anything but pandering to women. I told them in the very beginning, I can afford to tell you the truth because I don't need your money. I just talked about this last night.
If you're selling them a book, you definitely want their money. You may not need it, okay, but you're trying to sell them a book, you want it.
Oh, want and need are two different things.
Yeah. Okay, what would you do for something that you want?
Anything that's not illegal.
Okay, so that means that you will. So you basically, in so many words, saying that you're willing to, as a lot of people have been saying, you know, sell out the space. Or in my question that I asked, when
I absolutely I'm absolutely a sellout. I'm Brooks Brothers all day. I'm about business. I've said that from day one. See, a lot of guys like to play this game of he's not consistent, he's flip-flopping. See, this is the part that ARC didn't get. He didn't listen when I said, I am a businessman. I'm here to make money. I said that in 2015. You just didn't hear it. Because black men hear what they want to hear. They do selective hearing. They do selective listening. I'm here to make money. That's what I'm here for. I said that for 7 years straight. And if I can't make money on black men working with other black men, then I'll do it with black women, Asian people, Arabs, Jews, whoever I have to work with to make money off of black men. You ain't got no problem with other people making money off of black men. You got no problem with Jews doing it. You got no problem with Arabs doing it. You got no problem with Asians doing it, but you got a problem with other black men doing it.
No, that's a separate argument. I don't think that's not the argument. Whether or not manosphere content creators should make money, it turns into a situation of pending what they are saying. Is it even manosphere? And that goes back to the point of: are you trying to change it into something else, but still call it Black Manosphere?
Sure, why not? If
Okay,
black
so
men,
what are okay? Wait, so hold on. What are you trying to change it to?
men,
Important?
if it's something for black men in terms of their own interests, let's look at black women, for example. So you
What are
got
you
the
trying to change it to?
you
That's
got
the
black
important
vagina,
question.
you got Black Vagina Vision Media. Do you know who founded Essence Magazine?
I think a black man.
That's correct. Two of them.
I only know that because of you, but yeah.
That's correct. Do black women complain about it not being a legitimate, magazine of record for black women because of that fact?
No.
Okay. Black
So
men have proven themselves very adept at being able to cater to and sell to and consider the interests of black women. Why can't it be the other way around? Why not?
you're saying why can't women?
Why can't women do the exact same thing in reverse? Why not? Tell me why.
Well, they can do it, but you're going to do so. You're okay with them coming into the space and doing it and calling it Black Manosphere and essentially running it, basically
If
taking
other
over.
black men don't step up to the plate and do it, who is supposed to do it? We're supposed to just let it flounder and go down in flames?
Well, no, I think that the men in the space should leave it. But if the men in the space is saying that I will essentially sell out to women and pander to their sentiments
Other
for
black men
money,
don't
then
step up, tie goes to the runner. Now, we just had a man in
it's not about other black men stepping up. I think you just described what some people would interpret as stepping down.
Well, let the other black men step in. Where are they?
Okay, so if you admit that you're stepping down, then are you still calling it Black Manosphere?
Yes, I helped founded it.
Okay.
So the men that want to do this, step up. Put some skin in the game.
Okay.
Get in here and put some skin in the game. See, you don't hear this stuff from Theo. That's the other thing that's really interesting here.
I rock with
the
Theo.
Guys who actually have skin in the game don't say this stuff. It's the guys who don't.
I rock with Theo. Theo putting it on the wood, and he's, I can't. I'm not. I rock with Theo. So yeah, yeah.
So again, if black men want to see things move and progress forward, what are they doing to make it happen? Other than getting on panels and call themselves going to roast somebody, what are they actually doing? What are they actually doing?
Okay. You kind of already touched on this. So this is what I want. I want to give you the mic, give you full, creative control. Take this where you want to take it. As far as changing the nature and structure. And by the way, it's 624 people in here. Y'all hit the like button. I see a lot of super chats coming in. I am going to try to read all of them after I get this question. But as far as the nature and structure of what it is and what it's about, in your best, like, what exactly would you like to change it to? How would you like to see it change?
I would like to change the Black Manosphere into a place where it's welcoming of men from both sides. We're just going to use the very simple, schema right now. The decent guys, the street guys, etc. so forth. 75%, 25%. Everybody able to do what they do and make money at it. I see no problem with that. I don't see why black men can't make money off of other black men. I don't understand why. That's what I don't get. I don't understand why
black men that's been happening. When you say black men make money off of other black men, are you essentially talking about people doing content and people supporting either Super Chat, Cash App, Patreon, or buying books or whatever courses or whatever? That's essentially what you're talking about.
Plus ad brand deals, major
Yeah,
advertising.
we're already doing that. A whole economy has been created. Shout
Right.
out to O'Shea
So
for
I don't. So
pointing
I don't.
that out.
Well,
Uh,
O'Shea, the same O'Shea who said he quit the Black Manosphere.
Well, I mean, he technically already quit when he well, not
Well, he made
quit,
it
but
official last week.
yeah,
So,
okay, yeah,
so
but he
okay.
had
So with that, keeping that in mind. So with that in mind, I don't see why black men can't do that, and it's enough of it for everybody to make money with. You know, the Pookie economy is huge. World Star Hip Hop is proof of that. The great thing about the Pookie side of it, you already got a blueprint. You ain't got to reinvent anything from the wheel. You got your blueprint right there. It's called World Star Hip Hop. Go. You already got it. The 25%ers, we the ones that's got to, make an oasis out of the desert. That's the reason why I liken it to Israel. We got to make a oasis out of the desert. We got to get it out the mud, quote unquote. Fair enough. You don't hear me complaining about it. None of the guys that I work with are complaining about it. We just roll up our sleeves and get to work. It's the guys on the other side of the fence talking about, oh, they're going to try to leave out the door and do this and do that. Let me go tell you how much he did this and he did that. Let me meet to this guy. Let me tell you about this guy over here. He tried to leave out
that's
the door.
bullshit.
Come on, man. Instead of just rolling up the sleeves and getting to work, they already got a pre-existing blueprint. I studied World Star Hip Hop a lot last summer. And what I learned was quite interesting. Learned a lot. And the question that really kept coming back to me was, because Kevin owes his success to World Star Hip Hop. If you want to know what was the secret sauce that did it for Kevin, that's what it is. It's World Star Hip Hop. It's users of the website uploading viral moments from his shows, because everybody knows his shows go on for several hours at a time. They will take the viral moments, like, for example, the average at best video, upload it themselves, volunteer, it explode and go viral. That happened 12 times in a row. That's what's responsible for Kevin's success. What's fascinating to me about the 75%ers is that none of them considered that. And they're now almost 2 years worth of bleeding about Kevin. That's what's fascinating to me about it. Nobody on the 75% side of the fence even considered that simple fact.
All right.
As with regard to the links and stuff like that, I would rather not.
And I think I know why you just said that about the links. No, I was just about to drop the link.
I'll tell you the reason why. I'll tell you the reason why.
Listen, Obsidian, you have full carte blanche to say, I don't want to
I'll tell you the reason why.
Angry Man. No, let's just go ahead
and
it's
not Angry Man.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not Angry Man alone. I'll tell you the reason why. You have 600 and something people watching right now. When Angry Man is operating and he's doing his thing and he's got over 1,000 people watching, I don't ask him or anybody else to drop the link. I let him rock on out. Do him. If you and Game Changer are doing y'all thing, and y'all have quite a few times, there have been whole times I just sat the whole thing out. And whatever.
Obsidian, here's the deal. Here's the deal, Obsidian. On my show, I always drop the link. Just go ahead and keep it real.
All right, well, I'm done.
If you don't want to speak to Angry Man,
I'm done.
I respect that.
All right, well, we're done here.
I respect that.
Okay.
I respect that, but I will drop the link, but I'm not going to force a conversation between you and Angry Man if you don't want to have it.
You can do that. Well, I'm done.
All right. Well, I'm going to get to my super chats. After the super chats, the link will be dropped. That is always the plan on my show. I always drop the link at roughly the 1 hour mark.
I'm not really interested in getting into potential, back and forth, because there's nothing really to debate here.
I respect that. I respect that. I understand you. Yeah, it's going to be an epic blow up. You and Angry Man. So
And that's
I
the
get
reason why I don't want to do it. But I mean,
and I
you're right. It is your show, and part of the 75% appeal is beefs. I just got finished talking about World Star Hip Hop. That's part of their. That's part of the reason why they exploded. They became so popular. They have a formula that focuses on music videos, hoes, and beefs. That's the formula that made World Star Hip Hop so huge. That's it right there. All
Yeah.
I'm saying is, why can't the 75% just replicate that over on their own side? That's all they got to do is just replicate it.
All right. About to go through the super chats. Everybody who super chatted, I do appreciate each and every one of y'all. We'll be dropping the link after the super chat. But says, but now Obsidian is a regular on the same channel that women bought. Make that make sense. You can respond to the super chats that directly address you. Do you want to respond to you being a regular on the channel that that after she bought it, she said, I think she titled the channel Holes One. And so it is a criticism that people threw out there that I do think is
but now Obsidian
to
is
go over there
on that
go over
same
there.
channel.
Yeah, you're over there helping hoes win. Yeah,
I'm over there making money.
oh yeah, you get paid for being over
No,
there.
that's not volunteer work.
Okay, all right, cool.
I'm over there to
All
make money. I was invited to be on the show.
All right, fair enough. All right, Tahuti Ra in the building says Obsidian is following KS coattails and faking a persona. He's entertainment at best. He's lost his way. Okay, no response on that one. Clue in the building. He's caused.
Everything doesn't need a response.
All right. Obsidian is lighting the world on fire. Thank you, Nordine, for the super chat. Nordine back here again. He said, "Hey Bernard and Obsidian, I'm taking advantage of my CDL and hazmat, and I'm going to use this to make lots of money until the wheels fall off." Shout out to you. Kudos for that. Definitely get out there and get that money. Thank you. To Hootie Ra says, "Great job, BR, applying pressure respectfully. Ever since Kevin Samuels blew up, old man been wearing suits, going to gentlemen's clubs, and has been shaming others."
I'd like to know, maybe he can send in another $5 super chat. He hasn't, run out of money or anything. Maybe he can explain to me how I've been shaming others. I've never said that, you're not nobody if you don't wear a suit. I never said, neither has Kevin, by the way. Nobody has said that. Nobody said that. So I like to know exactly, where I've been shaming others.
Charles Merchant in the building said the 304s are winning. Trump could have alerted all of the all I think you mean all of us by selling his channel to curl man to man. Oh, but no, hyena males don't do business with men. I ain't even touching that.
Well, I mean, interesting point. Interesting point.
The ones you fear, would the women be here if super chats didn't exist?
Would women be here if super chats didn't exist? I have no idea.
I think he means the female content creators that make this content for men. It's a fair question. It's a fair question.
What's interesting.
I mean, we've proved a business model.
We talked
a lot of women have followed the business model.
We talked about this yesterday and you recently did a show about black femininity influencers. The question on the floor was, were they selling snake oil? In other words, are they effective at doing what they do? In other words, getting black women to change, be more feminine, so on and so forth. And my position is Kevin's done a superlative job at being able to sell black femininity to black women. If super chats are any indication, we're going to go by that metric. Super chats, I don't think anybody's outdone him in that respect. So,
well, no. He's done a good job with men super chatting him. We're not going to lose sight of that over here.
That's
men.
True.
Men have funded Kevin Samuels and made him
that's true. You're right.
Very, very. I don't want to say you throw the word out wealthy loosely, but they made him a lot of money. That was men.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
That was men.
You're right. That's a whole nother. Because I don't know if I want to open up that.
Yeah. We're not about to open that one up. The ones you fear in the building.
But on the point about is the super chatting from men to black women content creators, is that a thing? Yes, it is. See, this is the problem that a lot of guys in the black manosphere don't want to deal with. And that is, a lot of black men want to see black women. And the super chats are proof. These women ain't doing this for their own health. And
right?
black men are the ones that's funding it because, as you pointed out, Bernard, many of these black women, they don't have big, black female audiences. They
Mm-hmm.
have, we'll use Danica Marie since she's publicly spoken to this. It, I'm not going to say the exact number because I don't want to get this wrong. Danica Marie has said that the overwhelming majority, I'll put it that way, of her audience is black men. Well, she's offering something that black men want to see. And
And
no
what's that?
amount of brothers trying
And
to
what's
browse
that?
her.
And
They
what,
want to look at her. They like that.
yeah. All right. All right. Just want to
And
say.
and and
All right.
and the thing about it is, no amount of shaming. See, this is the thing that gets with me. I noticed, using her for an example, I've noticed a number of brothers in the black manosphere, calling themselves, hoes be winning and this and that and so on and so forth. Even Donovan Sharp had to go at her. What's interesting is none of that slowed her down. None of it. It didn't work. It didn't work.
Right. I want to get through the super chats real quick. Speaking my mind in the building, he says, "Okay, can I have your book for free?" Then, no, you got to buy it. I'm just answering that one for you. D Ski Veli in the building says these content creators was broke before they came here. Okay, all right. Tahuti Ross says, I hope ARC comes up on this stream. BR mentioned his content so he could show up like Candyman. He says, I man is a flip flop. I think oh man is a flip flop with no baseline except for money. Java Joe in the building with the super sticker. Thank you. Fear to none in the building with super sticker. Thank you. Michael Merriweather says boycott Obsidian. He's toxic and causes. Okay, all right, cool. Tahadi Ra in the building says Obsidian is just going to run in circles all stream. And it's the last one. Java Thompson said, I respect old man for at least telling the truth that he ain't never really care about y'all plight. It's just business content strategy. What message is
I never said
so
that. I never said that. You
yeah.
said that. See, in your simple mind, because a lot of black men have a lot of, black and white thinking. It can't be both and. It can't be nuanced. It can't be subtle. It can't be shades of gray. It's either this or that. That's one of the reasons why you have so many problems with women in the 21st century. There, I said it. You can care about men and make money too.
Yeah, I don't think too many people. I don't think too many people are disputing that. I see some more people came through with super chats. I'll read those ones later. All right, the link is in the chat. And look, Obsidian, I mean, if certain somebody come up, in the back, I'll let you know he's in the back. If you want to talk to him, that's fine. That's no big deal. But the link is in the chat for people to come up and have their say on this. Yeah, I'm not.
I do want to hear Judgezilla with his
Yeah. I'm not trying to force a fight between you and Angry Man, but I am not going to deny Angry Man the link.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. We've been down that road several times.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Go ahead.
But anyway, Judgezilla in the building. Welcome to the show. You have the floor. You have the mic.
If I may go tangent real quick here before this heads off into where it's going to go. Breaking news situation. GameStop is up over 90% from its low of 2 weeks. It's up 90% right now, with an increasing volume, ever increasing volume over the last 3 days. What that can set up, if it maintains at this status, what that can set up at the end of the week on Friday is the potential for a gamma squeeze and it going even higher. AMC is at its 50% mark with the same marks and indicators. Again, what that can set up if it maintains this trajectory at the end of the week on Friday, what this can set up is for a gamma squeeze because market makers must cover the options side of the chain.
Gotcha. And yeah, I think everybody know I got something on AMC, but it has been dropping down, so this may be a good opportunity to. Oh dang! See it? Yeah, it went up. See, I got to a point where I just quit even watching it because it became unhealthy to sit there and watch it all day, every little bar.
Yes.
So
and when you got
quit.
in, yeah,
yeah,
it has fallen a lot since you got in previous.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not telling anybody what to do. What I'm telling you is to look, observe, do your homework, validate what I'm saying, and act accordingly.
This
Right,
is not a
right.
situation that happens often. 90% moves do not happen often. 50% moves do not happen often.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. It's good time. Good time better than no time to go ahead and throw something on it. I stopped giving stock advice because I made some mistakes in the stock market. So I didn't want to be that dude telling people what to do and then causing people to lose money. So I just kind of keep my stuff to myself. But so listen. So I'm not even going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to tell you to digest the information that Judge just put out there and make the best decision for yourself. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not trying to be that dude that's telling you what to do with your money, but he broke down the metrics. So digest that information and do with it what you feel you need to do. But all
Thank
right,
you for
thanks,
your
Judge.
time, Bernard. I appreciate
real
it.
quickly, because a number of
Obsidian
people,
as well.
thanks a lot, Judge Zilla, I appreciate it. Because there's another guys in the chat saying that I'm kind of afraid of Angry Man. Nothing of the sort. I just don't want a shouting match. And to ensure that that doesn't happen, I'm going to exit stage left. Angry Man will have his say. I have zero problem squaring off against Angry Man or any man else in here. You know where to find me. It's called Teapot. It is a verified track record of neutrality and having formal debates. So if anybody wants me, that's where to find me. And with that, I'll say, and that includes you, Game Changer. If you really want me that bad, put up some cash and come on over to Teapot. If you want me that bad, because you're not smarter than me, and you're certainly not more accomplished or well known as me. All right, thank you so much, Bernard. I really appreciate it. And this has been a little slice of heaven, and I'll go on and deal with my wonderful life. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks, old man. All right. Well, we got the Angry Man in the building. AM, what's going on?
Okay, I'm gonna say a couple of things and then I'm gonna just leave.
Okay.
Number one, I actually was gonna agree with a couple of points that Obsidian made. I didn't come here to argue. And the fact that the assumption is that I'm coming here to argue is fucking egregious. That's first and foremost. I'm sick of the goddamn narrative that Angry Man is the Pookie. He's the boogeyman, and when he shows up, he's gonna yell at people, and he's gonna do this, and he's gonna do that. See, that's what's wrong with the goddamn space. That's what's wrong with the fucking space. There's a couple of things that he said that I actually agreed with, which was the only reason I was coming up here. I wasn't even coming up here to argue with him. Now, the other thing that I have a problem with, I don't like being held in the back so somebody can leave because they're assuming that I'm going to do this. To speak to what he said before he left about how when you have 600-700 people watching or whatever, you know, I'm doing my thing or something. If I remember correctly, the day before my shit got flagged down, I had about 1,000 people up here. Did I not ask you onto my show, Bernard?
Right.
I also had a conversation with you when it wasn't that many in there, and I said, I haven't been over there in a while. I'm going to come through, check out what y'all got going on.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only reason why I'm over here. The only thing that I was going to agree with, matter of fact, I'm not even going to say what I was going to agree with. Everybody can guess now. Because this shit is annoying. This shit is annoying. What's wrong with the space is the bias that floats around here about certain people, whether it be on one side or the other. I don't have a problem talking to anybody respectfully that respects me. No problem. You understand? If I did, you know, he was just up here giving props to Danica Marie. By the way, everybody, I'll have a show with her tomorrow. Be sure you guys check that out. What's annoying to me is that everything that is going on right now is not a result of some article that happened. It's not a result of certain people leaving. It's not a result of any of that. It is a result of the behavior of the men in this space. all of us. And we gotta own it. We gotta own it, period. It's the behavior of all of us. Point blank, period. I've never had a problem with brothers making money. I've never had a problem with brothers doing their own thing. My problem has always been the disrespect. That's what my problem has been. That's what my problem has been. If somebody disrespects me, I'm going to disrespect them back. Point blank, period. But the funny thing is, even when people have common ideas or common goals or whatever, not necessarily common goals, but when people agree on certain things, they're not even able to have a damn conversation. And see, that shit, that's not grown man shit. I didn't come up here to argue with you, Obsidian, if you're still watching. I actually came up here to agree with a couple of the points that you made. But you chose to say, well, I'm leaving because I don't want to get into a shouting match, making an assumption about me. But it's all good. It's all good.
All right. And
I
AM, I do.
appreciate you.
Wait, hold on, AM. I do want to respectfully say this before you leave. When my assumption that it would be a shouting match, that wasn't me saying, "Oh, Angry Man's a Pookie gonna come up here and flip over the table." No, Obsidian, who's the refined gentleman, yells and flips over tables just as much. So I thought that I thought it was a high probability of a mutual yelling back and forth. So that wasn't even just a person who shot at you, but I understand that it probably came off like that. So I will give you an apology if it did come off like I was just saying, "Oh, here come Angry Man about to fuck the show up." I apologize if it came off like that.
Matter of fact, I see a couple of people saying that I'm full of shit. So I'm gonna go ahead and say what it was that Obsidian said that I agreed with, so people don't think I'm lying. What I agreed with is when he said that the individuals that are complaining about the space going to hell or whatever, it's usually individuals that don't have any skin in the game. He's 100% right about that. The other thing that he's right about is if you don't like the way the space is, then step the fuck up and change it. Step the fuck up and make content. Instead of just roasting each other, bickering with each other, whatever. Yeah, I played a part in that. I did. And I have desperately tried since 2017 to get away from that shit. But it is really hard to get away from that shit when people continue to want to attack you. And that's not an excuse. It just is what it is. But at the end of the day, the people that have a problem with the way the sphere is, those people need to step up, be examples, make better content instead of the beef content and instead of the roasting content and all of that shit. But at the same time, we got to learn how to distinguish what's roasting and what's critiquing. We got to learn the difference between that, because sometimes people do need critiquing. You feel what I'm saying? But what he was saying about, oh, well, these guys can make their money, we can make our money, brand deals, all of that. I agree with all that. Me and Obsidian have never disagreed when it comes to making money. Never disagreed on that. So, I'm pretty sure he's still watching. He can do with that what he will. As far as debating him on Teapot, I don't have any desire to debate anybody. Because at the end of the day, there's no real money in that. You know what I'm saying? There's no real money in that. All it does is keep a bunch of stupid shit going. And it's just, it's fucking Gladiator. It's me standing in the middle of the Coliseum yelling, "Are you not entertained?" and shit. Like, I'm tired of being a performing motherfucker, screaming at people and they screaming at me and everybody just egging it on. This shit is stupid. But anyway, Bernard, I appreciate you having me up here, bro. Y'all can get back to it or whatever. You feel me?
All right, thanks, AM. And look, y'all know what to do. It goes without saying, man. Y'all, go check out, go support Angry Man. I ain't about to. Some bull crap just happened to one of his channels. That channel back up. Make sure y'all subscribe to both his channels. Go check them out. Show him some support. Show him some love. Thanks, AM.
Appreciate it. Yo.
All right. Yep. All right, GC. You was trying to get the link. You was trying to get the link before we even started the show. So I take it you got quite a bit to say. Well, first off, let me just give a little analysis. I think me and Obsidian did have a productive conversation. Some of the stuff we talked about is some of the stuff I've talked to Obsidian behind the scenes about some of that. I did try to dig a little deeper in everything, and it is what it is on some of it. He gave me some answers that shocked me. He gave me some answers that did actually shock me today. But yeah, no, I emailed him before the stream. I laid out, hey, let's talk about the stream you did last night. Let's title it "What the hell has Obsidian been talking about lately?" And I said the things that I wanted to talk to him, ask him questions about is people leaving the manosphere. Are you trying to change it, leave it, or destroy it, or and the whole little thing about women not just being in the space but running the space. I was like, come on, let's have a real conversation about that. And so so he agreed to it, and I think we did have a good conversation where a lot of good things were said. And so here we are right now. Got Game Changer who wanted the link from the start on this one. So you got the floor, you got the mic. Go ahead, Game Changer, you got it.
Oh yeah, no, I don't really want the mic yet, Bernard. I don't really have much use for a mic to an audience that is not hitting the like button at least 70%. It's 782 people watching, and it's only 304 likes. So we should be at 528 is where we should be. Once again, that's 528. Then we can start the dialogue, between you and I on this. But I mean, it wasn't even half. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, come on, hit the like button. That helps the algo, the algae rhythm. It lets people know that y'all here, that y'all in the building. I don't even know where the likes at. I haven't been watching. Oh, we had half. We had half. We almost had half.
It should be 70%. That's what I'm saying. It should be
70%. 70% is a lot. 70% is a lot for Negroes. So we gonna.
I mean, but it's free, and brothers like stuff. So
they hate watching. We trending towards 400 likes right now. So we about to go. We can go ahead and work.
30% should be hate watching. 30% hate watching, and the other 70% should make up for the 30% by hitting the like button. That's the way that works. So, like 70% of 700 is 490. So this is 700 and change. So that's what we need.
Right on. But
I mean, you could put the link out there, and other people can come up, but y'all not hitting that like button.
Man, you being a like button Nazi, man. Come on, let's go. We I think we just hit 400 if I'm seeing it right. Hold on. Yeah, we going at 400. We just hit 400. Let's go. Could being a like Nazi.
I mean, can we at least get 490 though?
Dude, we gonna have 600 people in here waiting for 490. Come on. Let's go.
All right, so
already 40 people done left. Come on.
Okay, no problem. So the reason why I put the hashtag inferiority complex in the room, because that's exactly what we're dealing with. We're dealing with several symptoms and traits of an inferiority complex when we discuss Mamiya Obsidian Ali. So what we have is someone who looks to women to validate him as a success. He don't really see himself as successful unless a woman, particularly a Black American woman, and more specifically a Black American woman from Philly, claims that he's successful. He needs that validation, and he's willing to do anything for it, and including, sell the manosphere or give it away to female leadership. He's comfortable in having women lead him, obviously, and these are the results. Now, unfortunately, this is and by the way, that whole comment when when he left saying, game changer, you're not smarter than me, didn't say I was, but that is indicative of an inferiority complex. It's kind of like, it's kind of like me going up to a porn star and saying, your dick ain't bigger than mine. Then you pretty much kind of revealed that it is, or if I was to say to Idris Elba, you're not handsomer than me, then I pretty much revealed that he is, and that I think that because that's a question that he asks himself regularly. So yeah, and not only that, he feels that way about every facet of his entire being. Now he tries to cover it up with, diction, and he attempts to cover it up with suits and things like that. But he has a severe inferiority complex, like many black men do. Now, what's unique, because there's people with inferiority complexes in every race of people. What black men tend to do is a little interesting and unique, and that is they try to claim that the entire race is inferior and he is a superior member of an inferior race. That's why he separates the manosphere into the black manosphere. Therefore, he don't have to really compete with other races of men and then say, I'm at the top 25% of that, which was an arbitrary number, as you pointed out. That is his attempt to feel like superior to someone. And in this instance, he's trying to pick, I don't know, who he considers Pookie and Ray Ray, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And also another sign of an inferiority complex. God damn. You see this, Bernard? You see this?
No,
It's still not, it's still not more likes. It's still not more likes. It's still, it's at 429. It's just there. It's just there, not going up at all.
In
What,
the
430?
words of the architect from the Matrix, there are certain levels of likes that I am willing to accept. Okay, I'm good with the likes. Okay, it just bumped to 45. Thank you, everybody. I mean, 445, 447. It's gonna be a slow crawl to that 490. Trust me, I know these Negroes. They don't like to hit the like button. They just don't. All right. I've learned to live with it. All right. We just gonna keep rolling. We gonna keep rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and somebody in the chat room mentioned my book, my book, my book. Yeah, it's always my book, my suit, skilled tradesman, this, never took a vacation, that, as if that's something to be proud of. You basically spent your entire 20s and 30s, which is supposed to be the best part of your life,
All
working.
right, you wrote you roasting flaming him up hard, GC.
Okay.
I do wish he was here
No,
to
I'll
defend it.
save it. I'm gonna do a follow up on this. I'll
Yeah,
save it.
yeah. This sound like a I mean, I don't mind you. I mean, Obsidian, he is on the chopping blocks today. I wish he was still up here, but he is to some degree on the chopping blocks today. But you hit them pretty hard. But one thing I do want to say that where you I wasn't even all the way with you at first. Then you landed the plane when you said that he likes to damn, I forgot how you worded it, to separate himself, to say I'm the best amongst this group, these men, or
Exactly.
something. I forgot how you worded that. That
Well,
is
to
that
get to
is
the
a
worst, it's a big fish in a small pond, and he has to say that the pond is small.
yeah, sort of like your Django analogy, where you said where I think Candy said something along the lines of he's a one in I don't know, was it Candy or was it the other guy that was showing him how to shoot? One of them said that he's like a 1 in 1 million
1 in 10,000. Yeah, it was
oh
Candy that said that.
yeah, he's a 1 in 10,000, and
Negro, yeah.
and the people who are told or believe that they are that, they have to make sure they maintain that, so everybody else has to be beneath that or low that, because if they find out that they're 1 in 100 or 10 out of 100 or something like that, then they become more normal. So they got so yeah, that's a true thing about Obsidian. He does have a I'm up here, them down there way of looking at things. Now when we're talking about some of the
Right.
we're talking about some of the outright bad behavior. I don't think it's nothing wrong with that. I don't think
Well,
it's
and that's
I don't think it's hold on real quick. I don't think it's healthy when that manifests itself in terms of an online cyberspace where people have their own personal lives, but they come on YouTube to do content. It turns into I'm competing for the hearts and minds of the audience by positioning myself or saying I'm up here and they're down there. Where in reality, we're all grown men with jobs and incomes that make money, that pay our bills and whatnot. I mean, there's some separation if you can identify somebody who's clearly living a problematic life. There is some separation that's undeniable. But overall, yeah, it is too much of that in this space. It is too much of that in this space. I'm no big fan. I'm no big fan of all that. I'm no big fan of all that.
Yeah, well, I mean, and you're right. And the reason why that exists is an inferiority complex. As a slave, in this
Or
analogy,
no, that could be a superiority complex.
no, it's. I mean, only people with an inferiority complex have a need to feel superior. Others just feel that way. So when you try to stretch or look for something to feel superior, then that's what that is. Take this whole Sister George purchase, for example. You know, that is a way to stretch and make yourself feel inferior. Oh, I was at the meetup, therefore, no, you didn't get the email because you're not a Patreon like anybody else. But you feel
And
inferior. You want to
and
feel superior.
based off my unofficial survey, seemingly roughly just eyeballing it, 80% of the people who are Patreons of him apparently don't check the Patreon email. I
Exactly.
say it once, I said it again. If Ty City didn't know, didn't nobody know. He wouldn't really. He didn't
It
really
wasn't
try.
advertised, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
It was not advertised. It was just floated out there. She caught it. She said, and she gave him some like the she paid him with like the equivalent of a bag of weed for his channel. Like, I mean, so is what it is. Is what it is. Shout out to her. I ain't tripping, but I ain't about to throw a black girl magic parade either. But
well, yeah.
anyway.
Well, no, it's not really a black girl magic parade. It's really more of a niggas ain't shit parade. And by niggas ain't shit, he means every nigga but me because I was at the meetup, which once again is what you do when you have a severe inferiority complex.
All right. I got it.
Real quick. No, I won't say
Okay.
inferiority complex again. Well,
you got one last bullet to fire, GC. So you didn't fire it off too many rounds.
Okay. What I will say,
even Angry Man didn't come up here emptying the clip like that. Come on, like just chill.
Yeah,
he ain't here, so we gotta we can give analysis of the discussion.
Well, I wasn't here either when he did his parting shots at me. But that's fine. That's fine. I won't. I don't have a need to do that anymore. But I mean, really, I just wanted to explain the psychology behind the complex more than anything. Not really talk about how it applies to him. And one last thing, and this isn't a direct shot at him. Ramil said, as you stated earlier, that this is. He sold it to Sister George partly as a final fuck you. But this I kind of feel that some people were saying like, oh no, not fuck me, fuck everybody else but me. No, you're not saying fuck me. You're saying fuck everybody else because I was at the meetup. Like, come on now. All right, that's it. That's all.
All right.
492. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Wait, no, that's OG's. Hold on. Okay, that's OG with the background noise. I muted you up. No, OG, I'm going to mute you up. You next. You next.
No, all right.
No. It ain't even. Was that even a word? Right. You sound like old man with never cracker. All right. Anyway, I forgot the character from that show. No. You still on mute. We don't need to hear you. Right. And we don't need to hear all that. But we're going to pass it to Theo, and you got background noise too, but that's okay. That's okay.
I'll go quick.
But
it's okay, because he got money.
Yes, absolutely. It's all about money. This is manosphere. What you thought? This is manosphere. What you thought it was? It's about that money.
My point is that I just wanted to say this thing. This separation is one of the big points about the separation is dividing men not only according to class, but also productivity, men who have intention to build something. And that's what the real point is. Okay, so if you look at my class, there's a separation in the class because there's certain people I can work with and some people I can't. So if I'm going to be building, I need to be a separation. That's just the way it is. It's not everyone's allowed to go in. I need to know who you are. That's why we're doing vetting. That's why the whole process is there from the beginning. So it's not saying superiority. It's very practical. I'm just trying to get things done. That's why we have a separation. That's it.
Yeah, no, I understand separation amongst men. I think every group, every race, they understand that it's levels to it. Bill Gates is up here. The white guy who mops the floor at some Microsoft building is down here somewhere. Like we understand that. I don't like when I see people doing that in terms of having unnecessary beefs where, you know, amongst content creators about, oh, look what I'm doing with my channel, look what he's doing with his channel, and then people who are actually doing good things with their channel get lumped in with the names and the titles that describe an unproductive brother, and that's not always fair. So that's why I gracefully bowed out of the whole Pookie conversation. When I use that term, I make sure that I'm talking about somebody in the real world who has some, you know, verifiable bad unproductive behaviors. I'm not just going to say, because I don't like this content creator and some of the stuff that they do, I'm going to categorize them in this negative way. Like, no, I'm not. I don't do that. You were trying to jump in, GC?
Yeah. You know, to piggyback off of the Microsoft janitor floor mopping scenario, you see, I do agree with that. Where you say, you know, you have Bill Gates at the top of Microsoft, and then, you know, somewhere you have the guy that mops the floors of Microsoft. Now, let's follow through with that analogy, right? What if that person who mops the floor at Microsoft starts inviting people to a show to talk about floor mopping, right? And he invites 100 people, and they all have like floor mopping, you know, where they talk about floor moppers' concerns, right? And then all of a sudden he says, I mop floors at Microsoft, a top Fortune 500 company. You mop floors at Burger King, therefore I'm better than you. You see, what would you say about the mentality about that floor mopper? Go for it.
I would say the obvious. I would say the obvious. Point well taken.
Okay, so yeah, that is a mentality that, well, never mind. Go for it.
Never mind.
All right.
Never mind.
All right.
That's better.
Oh no, you sound good now. You sound real good.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Theo, you need glasses. I see you straining your eyes, man. That's what messing with them little young ladies over there. They pulling all your strength out of you. You need some milk.
You're not currently in Brazil right now, are you?
He's somewhere with all them damn colors.
I'm using 4 computers. What do you expect? I'm tired.
Where are you at right now? Where you at right now? Are you, hold on real quick, are you in the States or are you still abroad somewhere?
No, I'm in Starbucks. I didn't want to be at home today.
Okay, got you. Okay, so you're no longer out in Pascalo or wherever he was at. But all right, OG. Oh yeah. I don't know.
I just want to
anyway.
Show,
go ahead, OG. What's going on?
I just want to show Game Changer how to get the damn lights up. Now it won't be no bounty on my head, but if y'all don't get them lights up, you want to get me off this channel? Get the lights up. I guarantee you, get it up to 70%. That'd be my bounty today. All right.
Okay.
So
when you come in here with your cape on like you normally do, I could put if I got 700 people watching, I could say we need 700 likes to get OG off the panel. I would get 700 likes before I finish the sentence. That's
say it now and see what happens. Say it now and see what happens. I'm gonna show Game Changer how to be in the real game.
No, I mean it's at 70%. So it's at 70%. So you're right.
600 likes. I get rid of OG. 600 likes.
See, now watch this. Watch this. How it work. How you work this, Game Changer. Watch how you work this. All right.
We'll see. We'll see how this goes. But
see, this is the problem, y'all.
Okay, yeah. Speak on that. Speak on what's going on here.
2 years ago, I tried to tell y'all, if y'all get a brand and get an umbrella, and you had different content makers come on that umbrella. You said what? Armadillo. Not umbrella, armadillo. Okay. Anyway, Bernard, I know you're a little confused. Okay. Your waves getting a little tight. Okay. So this
the way you mispronounce umbrella made my waves roll back up. Like
and you needed it. You needed it. So but anyway, so what I'm trying to say is my dumb ass figured this shit out about 2 years ago. Y'all had a very loose organization. That was number one. And people who wanted to be in the manosphere, but there was no I read a little bit about the mission statement when I first went on to O'Shea's channel, but I still seen it loose. So I see somebody who's doing what y'all should have did, and I told you do this 2 years ago, and they're doing it very well. And I know you know I'm not gonna mention their name on your channel, but they're doing it very well. And this is where all this loose stuff come in. But I don't see Acedia flip flopping. I really don't, because he always came in and say it was about money to him. I mean, when you listen to Howard Stern, Tom Lankus, and all them type of guys right
Well,
there.
no. Yeah, you still can say it's all about money and still flip flop. If you were saying it's all about money and you were doing you held position A for the money, and it's still all about money, but now you figure taking position B will get you more money. You flip flop from A to B.
Agreed.
That's still a flip flop.
Agreed.
But it's the baseline is still the money. I'll grant you that. So if somebody says it's all about the money, and then yeah, that opens the door for anything is possible at that.
But if you put that together, Bernard, if you put that together, yeah, you're correct. But what you wasn't listening to, Acedia, what you wasn't listening to, all the stuff he was saying, kind of like sidebar. Because when he was talking about at one time we're gonna need this communication, we're gonna have to sit down with these women, he was saying all this stuff. Y'all wasn't listening to that part, and y'all nudged him a little bit, but that was consistent of him.
We was listening when he was saying he wanted to bring women back to the table. Like this is back 2018. He was talking about horse trading and negotiating. Women need protection. Usually, like he's like, you need protection. I need a hot piece of ass bent over my couch. Let's come together in horse trade. He was saying that for the longest. So I think what a lot of people are saying is not so much a problem with the coming to the table to talk. It's once you get to that table and once that negotiation starts, how much stuff, how many concessions are you going to make at that table? I think that's the thing. And if one of the concessions is let's stream last night, hey, why not let women run the manosphere? Then people are saying, okay, well, hold on, women are at the table. You're giving too much. you're giving too much in these negotiations. You're going to walk away with only 5. You're going to walk away with only 10% of what you initially were initially wanting at the beginning. That's the legitimate thing that some people can counter what he's saying with, or counter what you're saying with.
Okay, this is important of when you listen to some people or you listen to people talk long enough, you gotta pay attention to the small details, the undertone. All right. And this is why I say he's never wavered or flip-flop, because his undertone spoke volumes to me. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when you listen to someone talk, you listen the beats in between what they're really saying. And that's when you get a true understanding of what they're trying to say. And some people call it cold talking, cold words, or whatever they want to talk. I took it as it was, and that's why I'm not surprised, because a businessman is a businessman. You know what I mean? And that's what happens.
I disagree. If you're a businessman and you open, let's just say, a vegan restaurant, and then all of a sudden you just up and decide that you're going to start selling bacon burgers and beef and all of that. Yes, the people who supported you, who liked your vegan restaurant, they do got right to say that, hey, you're not selling those veggie burgers anymore. What's going on here?
Well, what about this, Bernard? A man who opens up a vegan restaurant and you see him at the cash register eating a pork chop sandwich. And so he's selling, listen what I'm saying, he's selling you vegan food.
I don't mind that. I actually don't mind that. If somebody is if somebody has a vegan restaurant and they sell vegan food at their vegan restaurant or vegan store or whatever, but they still like to eat ribs, that's fine. Then
I know, but that's the
selling vegan products is just his business.
That's it. No, but that's his business. But sooner or later, he's going to invest in trying to sell you that pork chop sandwich he's eating. Sooner or later, because that's what he's doing. It's called charming. Like, oh, wait a minute, when you go hurt yourself, you gonna need them neck muscles, Theo. You gonna hurt yourself. Think about what I'm saying. If someone is promoting health, all right, and a vegan restaurant, and they're sitting there with the pork chop juice dropping over cash register, there's a reason. There's a reason why they eating that pork chop sandwich. Why you are paying for your vegan food?
All right, okay, we get it. This is all just your way of trying to justify you being a Muslim who still eat pork. We get it. All right.
No, it's not
all right,
really.
I gotta get to my super chats.
Okay, go ahead and get your super. Wait. Let me see what the numbers at. Let me see what we halfway there. We need about 40
okay.
more. 40
all right,
more.
as Quentin in the building, he says, shout out to you, Bernard. I appreciate the super chat. Chief BD in the building. He says he a whole Batman villain at this point. Shout out to Flying Low. He says dodging the smoke with AM, but always take shots at the man. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Shout out to damn it. Okay, shout out to Cam. Shout out to Cam. Appreciate you. Appreciate you coming through with the super chat. John H in the building says kudos to Obsidian. Gracefully leaving. He destroys as angry baby. He destroys angry baby every time. Thank you for the super chat, John H. Appreciate that. Space Hopper is back. He says, AM, you have your reputation as presenting yourself as a big bad wolf. For that, over the years, you have outbursts all the time. You recently did it to Donovan. Yeah, Angry Man has his outbursts, but Obsidian has them too. And I think even if Angry Man came in peace, I do think the end result would have been the same between the two of them. They would have collided. It would have been fireworks. It just is what it is. And so I is what it is. Is what it is. I think it would have been mutual though. Debt Collector in the building says, I see Game Changer got is calculated out. Got this calculated out. Black Sand in the building says Obsidian has lost his damn mind like Bobby Fischer. Stefan, educated Tyrone, Game Changer is unequivocally and objectively smarter than Obsidian. No debate about it. I got most of the heat from uneducated lames, and I was usually met with grace and humility from classmates with high IQs. Shout out to you, Gregory Scotland, with the super sticker. Appreciate you. The Clue Channel says, I don't need your money. Buy my book. Hashtag Dory. Okay. Stephen, Stephen Educated Tyrone says, AGC should read my surgical remarks about Obsidian from the back chat for the audience since Bernard refuses to let me up or read my super chats. I don't necessarily refuse to let you up. I tend to go with the vibe of the conversation, and I don't like to do really, really big panels anymore. So if I got 4 people and it's a good flowing conversation, I tend to lean with it and rock with it, provided another major content creator shows up. So just take your time, get your, I don't want to say I want to talk like that, get your weight up, but I keep it tight. Shout out to Ryan Decipher in the building with the $20 super chat, just showing support. Salute Theo. Shout out to just two more, then we're gonna dig back into it. AM1 in the building. He says it's just a purple pillow sphere. I don't even do the purple pill thing. Co-ed Black YouTube, just ditch the illusion of it being Black men focused. Simple as that. It's okay. Shout out to AM1. Do appreciate the super chat. Charles Mayo in the building. Obsidian has become the poster boy for lack of leadership, lack of integrity, trying to disguise something as something else. Excuse me. I didn't mean to let that out. All right. Okay. All right. Where was we at? OG. I think I cut you off.
Like me. You started to use grammar like me. Where we at? Okay. Go ahead.
Where we at? That's fairly normal.
Oh, okay.
That's fairly normal. You were speaking.
Yeah. See, this is the problem. I see this a problem too. Everybody's trying to figure out who's smarter than who. Wait a minute. I mean, why is that even necessary? If you got a talent in one thing versus another thing versus that, now who's the measuring stick? That shouldn't even be a conversation. especially.
But OG, what if you don't have any talents at all whatsoever?
Well, I don't believe just because someone you might don't like or you feuding with or you having a problem with that you can come down and say you don't have. Surely Obsidian has some talent.
No, I get that, and I'm not, naming names.
Okay, what I'm saying is,
what I'm saying is, what would a person with no talents whatsoever do if he wants to feel, if he wants to best others?
well, I totally disagree with that because I have been in
I
places.
didn't. It's a question. It's not a statement. What are you disagreeing with?
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is, I don't see where it's a question because I have never ran into anybody who didn't have some type of talent.
Okay.
That's the problem. So when you make you ask that question, it's a pretty dead question on itself because I have never run into anybody who didn't have some kind of talent.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. And so, Bernard, this is what you get when you're trying to build something that means something and you try to put business on top of it. Business always gonna come first. I'm sorry. With certain people, business always gonna come first. And business it's kind of like what's popular at that moment. It go with waves. And that could be detrimental when you have something you're trying to build.
I don't know if that works. Like, for example, if I again started a burger shop and I found out somewhere along the way that people in this city they like tacos more than burgers, switching over to tacos is no big deal. But if part of your business is you and who you are, I don't think you get to just wholesale completely change who you are, if you understand what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying.
That's where it turns into a different thing. I mean, no, you can change who you are. You can evolve into something else. You can do that. Let me just make it clear. You can do that, especially if it's genuine. Especially if you genuinely go through some changes. Like there was a time when let's use Theo for example. When he came into this space, he was I don't know if he was a card carrying Democrat, but he was more on the Democrat side. While being in this space, he gradually over time started to lean more conservative, and then gradually over time he was all the way there where he's not going to vote for the Democratic Party anymore. I still don't even know. I don't know if he's voting Republican, but he's definitely not going to vote for the Democratic Party. That's a genuine change over time. So I think somebody can have a legitimate gripe with somebody. Like let's just say if Bill O'Reilly just sort of became more liberal over time. Actually, no, this is happening in real time with Bill Maher. Bill Maher is gradually becoming more on the conservative side. He'll probably always be liberal when it comes to buying poon. I don't even know if he pay for it. It just seemed like he do. But when it comes to messing with the skeezers, he always gonna be very, very liberal on that one. But he is abandoning the Democratic Party, and some of his home base is they jumping off ship. He can't go with all this SJW weirdness. He can't go with the purple hair crowd. So people are jumping off ship, and that's a legitimate thing. But he got to be forthcoming and upfront about what he's doing and why he's doing it.
Okay,
and
would you say?
And he argues his case very well, and it's actually I can tell that he genuinely moved over. Just like I could tell that Theo genuinely moved more conservative. I can tell that it happened. And that's fine.
That's not a good sample.
But if Bill Maher just said, this country is more conservative now. Let me abandon everything that I used to say just to try to get some money. I think, that is different. People are going to receive it different. People are going to call it out different. And some people not going to rock with them, but some people will. I think that's just the nature of what it is.
The reason why I say that was a bad example is due to the fact the way you put it, it can seem like Theo just fell into the manosphere and all of a sudden. But see, Theo was working out some things with his therapist. So
I said it was gradual.
So he was working out some things with his therapist. And he confessed that I'm not putting out any information that he has not already laid on the table.
my movement over to the more
I'm
right
saying,
side was not due to the therapy. It was due to me recognizing the real intentions of liberals, and then
look,
noticing that I I didn't like these people, but I voted with them, and I had to think
okay,
about what that meant.
okay, uh, you can say that, Theo, but finding yourself inside a therapist session has a lot to do with everything in your life, regardless of how you say that you got the where you got the information from. But building on yourself makes you have makes you make different decisions in your life. So you won't never be able to separate that. You might say that you got abundance of that from seeing it on the manosphere, but it won't separate how you build yourself in your with building yourself in your therapy session. So you'll never be able to separate that. And you might lean towards saying this had a more of effect, but building yourself is changing yourself altogether. But I don't want to stick. I want to stick on. I just wanted to say that was a bad sample that Bernard used. Look,
I
Bernard,
don't think so.
you have to say to yourself, most of these people we see on Black Manosphere, that's their brand. That's not who they are. So
Mm,
when you start to
I know
no,
you
seriously,
would.
seriously,
I,
and
I
then
don't.
long as they keep talking, you'll find out that that was a brand versus who they really are.
Okay, well, again, it sounds like you're in a covert way, just trying to say that all y'all full of shit, so y'all really
No,
shouldn't
I
care
didn't say
that
that. I didn't
Obsidian.
say that. I'm just saying, you know, as well as I know, a lot of people who comes on, and a lot of people that you look at their content, you might think, I mean, the average person who walks up on them might say, "Well, I can see them moving away," but they didn't see them. They didn't see them as that's who they were from the beginning because they overlook into conversations that might had them thinking, well, yeah, he's with what I'm talking about. What but you wasn't paying attention to the small details. The small details is always, as a poker player, this is how I pick up on people. I read people very, 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 very easily because there are certain signs they can't get away. And we say in poker, you can't come to the table be nothing but who you are. It's just the person who's sitting there who's observing you will pick up on these traits. And so I pick up on people very easily. And that's what you got in the manosphere. I mean, just you two
Well,
all
okay,
together,
all
not
right, all
just
right,
me.
all right. I will say this, that it's possible. I'll just say it's possible. I agree with Bro Truth. You be making my head hurt too. You got my forehead, tensing up. Having
Well,
to get
first you
things
got to
together.
have something in the head to hurt. So when you got empty
Yeah.
space, ain't nothing can hurt in the first place.
Okay. All right. Cool. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. All right. All right. I'll let you get that one off. If you're simply saying that it's people in this space who, even when they initially came to this space, they was faking it with all their talking points, all their views, all their perspectives, just following the crowd. And then years later, the actual real them came out and everybody's saying he flip-flopped, and you're saying that, well, if you were paying attention, he been low-key breadcrumbing all of this from the start. Y'all just missed it. That's essentially your argument?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I mean that probably applies. That probably applies to some people, and to some degree, it could have. It could apply to Obsidian. I do think it's some things that he's changed. There's some things he legitimately evolved on, and there's some things that he's making a calculated move on. And I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. But I don't know how much longer I'm going to go with this stream, because this stream is about Obsidian, and Obsidian is no longer here. So I don't know how much longer we're gonna roll with this. But shout out to everybody in the building. Jessica Raymond, finessing suckers. Wow, says perfect example for Jessica Raymond. I don't know who is
Jessica X. That's who he's talking about. That's her name.
Oh, that's okay. All right, my bad. Yeah.
Hey, Bernard, you got to catch up, bro. You got to catch up.
Hey, I don't have my ear to the streets like that. I do know that somebody allegedly exposed her real name, but I don't. I watched the video. I didn't commit to memory what the name was. That's where I'm at with it. I don't I don't get deep into that. I did watch it. You couldn't turn away from the train wreck of that video, but no, I don't commit to. I didn't
But
even commit to
that
memory
plays into a part
with
with
the
the
name
discussion you're having
alleged.
right now.
How
That
so?
plays into a direct what we're talking about right now.
How so?
People come into this space with agenda and they get the rah-rah, clap hands. And this is the second woman who's been in this space that a lot of guys start drooling over. And then all of a sudden, they find out she's the opposite of what she represents as her brand.
Well, I think, okay, I think nothing is knowable right now. Like me personally, I don't think she's the person in the picture she presented, but I also don't think she's that person that somebody else tried to present either. I don't think either one of them are a thing.
But what I'm saying,
but so reality is we don't know what she is. We don't know.
no,
I
what
mean,
I'm
we don't
saying
know.
is,
It's just it's a big we don't know on all accounts. But you are right.
In
Yeah.
algebra, X is the unknown.
Game Changer know the first one I'm talking about. Game Changer. You know the first woman I'm talking about.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I
know,
do.
I sent you an email on her way before these guys start getting too way to the left or right. And then when she was exposed, then just like I say, I don't know, she might be back here with different names or whatever.
Very
It's
likely.
just that we have enough problem with men who are trying to represent something, and then when we let these women in and everybody start drooling over them, because we know women change the vibration in a
Well,
room.
what
I mean,
about
you
when we let Simpson pander bears who come up here and argue on behalf of women on the panel all the time?
well,
What
but
about when
not
we
I
do
don't
that?
know. I don't know why you would talk about yourself like that. I'm not trying to really talk about you right about now. What I'm trying to do is try to keep the conversation going.
You
But
you in no position to be talking about not letting Jessica X in the stuff I
no,
let you come up here and
no,
say.
but listen, Bernard. But listen, Bernard. I'm who my brand is. You can go to all my videos. I call myself fair and balanced news. So when I do come up, I got haters on both sides because depends what topic we're carrying or talking about. I just like fair and balanced news. And so when you just dig on one side and say, well, this is the problem, and you're not looking on the other side, you're really not going to get a capture of what the real problem is. Because in between two people talking who are disagreeing with each other, in between that, there is the truth. See, the truth is like one person saying, this is my truth, and the other person saying, this is my truth, which might be if that's their mindset. But in the middle of all that, truth don't have left or right. It's just what it is. And that's the problem you have when people, like when I come up, I want you to hear both sides. You'll never know which side I'm on because I exactly want people to have the right information so they can make a decent decision. How in the hell can you make a decision on something when it's one-sided? There's nowhere in the world that you can go and see a one-sided conversation and it comes out to any good result. It usually ends up in a war.
The mere fact, and they counting down them likes, but
yeah, I'm trying to get them up there. You got 10 more, got 10
I
more.
don't think in any way, shape, or form you can say that it's a one-sided conversation in this space. I mean, the mere fact that it's this
The mere
much
fact that I come
disagreement
up.
is just the mere fact that it's this much disagreement amongst men in this space, this much infighting and turmoil and reaction video. I mean, some of it is just some petty, just some effery that people have copped. Oh, what? Come on! What is, oh, that's Theo. Hold on, I'm going to go to you next, Theo. You if you're trying to speak, but the fact that it's this much infighting. Now, some of it is some effery that people are engineering, and some of the people that are doing that have admitted to doing it. So I'm not even throwing nothing out there. Some of them have said, "Ain't no message. It's about the effery, and y'all want it, and y'all show up and prove that you want it." So. And for that sense, in that sense, he's right. He's right.
Well, let me say this before I get popped off.
But other than somebody doing it like that to
let me
prove a
say this
point.
before I get popped off.
I'll give you your last word before you leave. Other than that, it is a great deal of disagreement in this space. Just so you can't pin that on us. Like it's a huge. I can't even. I'm not even about to get into it because I could talk for hours about I might do a whole stream on that. All the different disagreements, all the different factions, all the different ideologies, isms, and schisms that go on and how they conflict with each other to where nobody could ever say that this is an echo chamber. But go ahead. You
Okay.
it's
And
pretty
I
much
wasn't trying to say that these channels will only have one side. For the mere fact you let me on and guys like me shows that it's just not one-sided. But I'm just saying for guys like me, if they didn't let us on, you would just hear on the left side or either on the right side. And this is where the fair and balance comes in. So I'm not accusing the manosphere or especially your channel as being a one-sided. Thank you for getting them likes up. It's better than a bounty sometimes because in the near future, it shows that his channel is doing the thing that it should be doing. I'll see y'all the next time. Don't let me come up here again and get these damn likes up again. All right. Theo, get you some glass and stop straining, man. Okay? And get some sleep. All right. And game changer. I try to
game
warn
changer.
y'all. He must be. I try to warn y'all
Yeah.
again. This
I
is
don't
my
I don't
last time warning y'all about
I
these
don't get
women that
petty
come
on
in
the
the
air.
room.
Who was y'all talking about? Never mind. Just
He'll
Well,
tell you in the back check.
tell me tell
yeah,
me in the back
I'll
chat
tell
or
you in the back chat.
send me
I
an
tried
email or
game
something.
game changer will tell you I'm usually sounding alert when there's something I know, but I can't tell you how I know. I sound the alert, and if you don't take it, all right, this is what happens.
All right, now
Yeah, we gotta talk
Cap,
about that.
all right, yeah. Captain Trapham just proved my position. I was about to say that's a guy that been in this space for a while. For her to say Bernard, the new everyday brother, Obsidian has not been saying the voice of the everyday brother in a long time. So this is somebody who's been in this space for a while, observing things. For her to say that I'm the new everyday brother. So just keep that in mind. This when y'all see this Captain Trapham
Well,
character, that's somebody who's been in this space for a long time. Probably a guy. Probably a
well,
guy.
so would you remember that janitor scenario I gave? Would he continue to call himself the everyday janitor?
You talking about the one who mopped floors at the White House versus the one who mopped floors at McDonald's?
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
he can't be the
But
voice.
no,
He
but
can't. He can't be.
like say if he was to galvanize all the floor moppers and say, I am the voice of the everyday janitor, and then one day he was to say, oh no, I mop floors at the White House and you mop floors at McDonald's. Therefore, I am superior to you. Or what if he gets promoted and then all of a sudden he's not the voice of the everyday? Yeah, you see where I'm going with this? Imagine any type of leader saying that I will switch over for money no matter as long as it's legal. Would you be in a union with someone who says, I will switch over for money as long as it's legal? Would you be in a religion with somebody who says, I would convert if I find it more profitable to convert? Say if you were, I don't know, in a country that was made as a result of World War II in the Middle East, but it doesn't meet Middle Eastern culture, right? And then you have people in that particular religion, and they say, you know something? If the people around my country were to pay me more, then I would definitely convert. What if the Pope said that? What would you do then? What would all good Catholics do then? What if Martin Luther King said that? What should black people do then? What if Benedict Arnold? Oh, actually, he did say that. Excuse me. But yeah, you get where I'm going with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if the current four-star general of the armed forces were to say, you know something? If another country paid me more, I'd go over to them.
Yeah. Perfect Blackness in the building says, I generally mute the advice of, of boomers, considering they are largely responsible for a need of a black manosphere. Get out of there. Need for a black manosphere in the first place. I say they have lost the right to advise us on anything. Sun is Hot Ra in the building says, hold on, I'm missing some super chat somewhere. All right. Anyway, for those saying that 304s are winning, If they are winning, it's because you want them to win, because if they win, it keeps you in sexual favor with them. So hoes winning benefits you know who. It's some I don't think that's the only reason why, but just following it logically, yeah, it's some truth in that statement. Like, I mean, we've talked about this on this show before, not even in connection to the 304s are winning thing, but it's just there are some people, the chaos, the there are some people that benefit from it. There are some people that benefit from it. And granted, if you're a single man who does well with the ladies, this whole chaotic environment that you adapt to, yeah, it's some benefits that can come from it. You know, especially if you're a man, you got your own money, got your own spot, got yourself together, and then yeah, you can just stick and move with a couple randoms, and they out there ready to go because they making their own money, and so they just want to do the stick and move, and so you can just have a good time and have a rotation, and yeah, that's some people, that's life. And then there's some of the manosphere talking points that if it was followed all the way home, if it was followed all the way to the end conclusion of the logic, it would be more of a situation where the women are not out clowning and they're paired up with one man, where some men don't want that society. You know, when the free love movement happened, in second wave of feminism, drug, sex, rock and roll, and women taking their bras off and burning them in the streets, and they having a good time, they going out doing their thing. It was some guys that were like, oh shit, this is party over here, and some dudes are still living in that. And then, so if the message gets too conservative, some people going to push back against that. Y'all ain't about to stop this party. O's winning. So I do get it from that. I do get it from that perspective. I don't think that's the only point and only argument that they're making, but I think that's a piece of the puzzle. That's a piece of the puzzle, no doubt. But shout out to everybody who has supported this stream. Theo, you had unmuted earlier. Did you got anything else that you wanted to add to this? I may make this a shorter one because again, we're not about to sit here and and talk on and on about Obsidian while he's no longer here. But see, Theo, you got anything to wrap up? I mean, speaking of well, I'm gonna mute you real quick. I'll throw it to you on this, because speaking of business, and that business that Obsidian was talking about, a part of that business that I don't think nobody should be having any disagreement with. You can disagree with some of Obsidian's talking points, of which I disagree with a lot of Obsidian's talking points nowadays. But the business aspect of it, when he's doing an event in Philly, there will be an IT portion of that where Theo will be continuing his teaching and his training and getting a lot of brothers on the path to making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so he's doing those events. Brothers right here in this space are being trained up by Theo, who we know make about 50 G's a month doing his IT stuff, his little brainy stuff that smart people do, so he's trying to produce more brothers like that, and the manosphere is essentially the conduit, the funnel that brings the people in, and gets them on that path. So it's some definitely good work going on. And like I said this actually when I was on Angry Man. With all my current disagreement with Obsidian and a lot of stuff that he says, my head is still spinning about that title of his stream yesterday. My head is still spinning about the title. I still will, from a standpoint of, the Manosphere meetup, this event in Philly, which I will be participating in, from the standpoint of all of that and everything that's happening with that, and Theo and all of that. I want to see all that become a success. So in that sense, even though I disagree with Obsidian on a lot of points, when it comes to that kind of stuff, you need me to help promote, to come speak, whatever. I'm down for the cause if I think it'll benefit Black men. I'm down for the cause. So from the business standpoint and all of that, I'm still on the side of him, even though I disagree with a lot of the talking points and direction that he's taken his channel. But as far as that business that I spoke of, Theo is right at the head of that. Let's go ahead and speak on that aspect of it, or whatever else you wanted to drop in there, Theo. I'm sorry, I was asked a long run-on question that didn't even end in a question, but go ahead, you got the mic. And you're muted. You got to unmute yourself.
It's fine. It's just that you've got this issue. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Hold on. Now I understand what's going on. Good. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're a little low, but we can hear you. Oh,
Okay,
you go ahead. Yeah.
I dropped. Anyway, I'm gonna drop down. See.
No, we can hear you. You just can't. Okay, we could hear him. He just couldn't hear us. All right. So, game changer. You got any any final words? I know right now you're probably reaching, trying to see if you got some few loose bullets on the ground, or try to hurry up and and load in one more shot to fire at Obsidian. That's what you're probably doing right now. But you got any final words?
Well, I don't really think that that's fair to joke in that way. I mean, we're not talking about somebody who's not taking shots at the plurality of black men himself. You know, like, I mean, you mentioned throw a rock and hide your hand, or create fences and throw rocks over that fence. I mean, well, that's what he's doing right now. Like, he threw several rocks, and and then he's like, oh no, I want to talk with Angry Man, the person that I threw rocks at. Like, I mean, really stop and think about it. When he says that 75%, he is talking about AM. So, that was a rock being thrown, and that was him going over the fence again. So let's not pretend like I'm being petty, because I'm
No, fair enough. I mean, yeah, you were retaliating. I will give you that. But it was a few people in the back chat. I see somebody. Well, you know what? I'll go ahead and do this. Jay, I don't know. Not sure who you are. I probably have interacted with you. Go ahead and shout out to Ride God Podcast. He says, "My bad, having too much fun. Forgot the super chat. No doubt. Appreciate you coming through on the super chat, and appreciate everybody who has super chatted. Go ahead, Jay, if you got something you want to add to this. I'll let some brothers. I got nothing else to say on this, but I'll let some brothers come up and just speak briefly, and we'll be on with it. But go ahead, Jay.
All right. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to say that it has been pointed out. No, well, I'm glad he admitted that it's all about business, because he has openly said this on like his Facebook and whatnot. The thing is, right, as someone who's supposed to be the founder, and then the way he flip-flops. Remember, Bernard, even on your platform, he openly admitted, I do not need to be consistent. You remember? He said, I don't need to be consistent. I should be able to fluctuate on my stance, which is crazy, as he was the same person who said that to do business with someone is on integrity, right? And then that was before the KS and the future thing. But then once that happened, right, remember, he changed his stance immediately and said it's all about the business.
He said it's to do business. Hold on, wait, to do business with somebody is on integrity.
You remember he made this argument?
I agree with that there must be some level of integrity in business. Are you saying that?
Let me clarify.
I sound like you're making an argument because someone has criticized Future having umpteen baby mamas, then they shouldn't do business with them.
Well, I'm saying that old man himself said that he does not do business with Pookies and Ray Rays, right? This was his past stance. Yeah, this was his past stance. He said that, right? And then he changed it up once KS had went mainstream with it and did the whole music video. And GC had came up and had confronted him on his past stance. And then he criticized him that it's just about business. That's what I'm saying. That's what people are getting upset about. It's like, how can you say one thing and then flip up the next? I think the most impactful one was the April Mason. You even confronted him and said, April Mason for years. You knew about what she stands on. I don't understand why you're defending her.
Yeah, the April Mason thing, that was more like I found that one to be a much bigger deal than the whole Kevin Samuels working with Future thing.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That was the most impactful flip flop.
That one I didn't think was that big of a deal. Like I even in my stream, I just said, yeah, you could disagree with somebody's lifestyle, you can criticize somebody's lifestyle, but doing business with them is not an endorsement of their lifestyle.
Right.
That's where I'm at with that.
Right. And then the last thing I wanted to say was that this isn't the first time he's tried to, what's the word? Infeminate black men? Is that the word?
We'll go with it.
Okay. So, I don't know if you remember this. It wasn't on your platform, but there was a disagreement, and he had said that the alphabet community men should be the ones to lead the manosphere, right?
All right. Yeah. I didn't hear that. I heard people repeat that he said that. I didn't hear him say that. I don't know what was going on there.
Right. I thought it was a rumor. I thought it was a rumor. I went to see the video, and it was true. He doubled down on it. So I'm just saying that, unfortunately, I don't know what's going on with him with the flip flop. I used to be a huge supporter, but it's bad in terms of his character when he's willing to flip flop so much. But I do appreciate that he did say openly now that he is all about business. So it is what it is.
Well, what I was looking for is, like, I think there's a way forward. Not that I'm trying to chart out his exact course, but I think there's a way forward where he can, be honest. And you got to give him credit. It was a lot of honesty today, where he's saying
I appreciate it.
There's aspects of what he's doing where he's going a different direction, and I was just trying to get him to pin down exactly where you're going, where you're trying to take it. And I did ask the fair question, but are you trying to take it somewhere to where the Black Manosphere banner wouldn't properly fall under it? But he said no, he'll never let go of the Black Manosphere banner. So that's essentially admitting that he's trying to change aspects of it. And sometimes things do need to change, and sometimes they could change for the better. So then I start trying to talk to him about, okay, but where is that line? Where it could change for the better to where what was can cease to exist. Like that's what I was really trying to pin down on, and I got something out of him. I got something out of him on that. But no, I was just trying to, because look, I mean, it's to the point now where everybody is seeing where he's going and how he's doing things, and so I think he's in a place now where he could be honest. I see new people in his audience. He's growing, in my perspective. He's growing to some degree a new audience. He's talking about being on camera real soon. He just wrote a book for the ladies, another Kevin Samuels endorsement. Plus, if he's on camera, he could end up stepping into a whole new arena. And wherever he goes with that, hey, I wish him the best. Wherever he's trying to go, I want to see him get there. I honestly do. Even if it's in a direction where I can't go that direction with you, but I'm wishing him the best. You need something from me, I got you. That's where I'm at with it. But and I do think a percentage of the manosphere will roll with him and rock with him wherever he's going. But I mean, it can't be denied that there is a distinct difference that's taking place. There is a distinct difference in what he's doing. That part can't be denied.
Right. And then my last point is that, how he always talks about when he pluralizes that black men don't know how to take criticism. That's one of his biggest critiques when it comes to anyone questioning his motives or what he does. But then he proceeds to, criticize other people like GC and AM. But then when you are trying to create a gentleman's debate on your platform, he tries to denounce on your platform, letting your audience come up, overstepping his bounds. And, I'm not trying to say anything bad. I'm just saying what I literally witnessed on your platform, that he tried to overstep his bounds and dictate what you do on your platform.
He tried to stop the link. He tried to stop the. That's no big deal. That's no big deal. The link was going to get dropped regardless. But yeah, he didn't want the link in the chat. he didn't.
Right, and then he takes shots on his way out. That's crazy. But I appreciate you, Bernard, for staying firm and getting him to nail down. I think that was one of, at least coming from the chat, looking at the chat when it comes to him doing what he does. That was like one of the biggest critiques. But I do appreciate this show that you was able to nail him down and get him to actually confirm any suspicions we had. So appreciate the platform, appreciate you, and I'm gonna go ahead and head out.
All right. Thanks.
Peace.
All right. All right. We can get this zone up out of here. We can get this zone up out of here. Man. This was an interesting one. But all right, we're about to wrap this up. Thanks again for that super chat, Rod. Thank you for everybody who super chatted. I haven't checked no cash apps at all. I don't know if I received any cash apps, but we're about to get up out of here. And there's a super chat right there at the buzzer, AJC in red. So if you're doing things more for women now, why you and Theo are still having a meetup with him? The meetup is literally in the benefit of men. Literally. I mean, the event in Philly is for the benefit of men, for the benefit of black men. So there's that. I said I have disagreement with where he's going with his with some of his content and some of his talking points. But for as far as what's going on in Philly, the real business out on the ground in the real world that's happening, I can still support that. And that's that. But all right. And with that said, we are out of here. I gotta get an outro. I really gotta get an outro. But we are out of here. Thank you, everybody. Once again, everybody super chatted, like, share, subscribe, did anything to support the stream. Thank you very much. We are out of here. Peace.